The thing of doing retreat is really to observe what's going on in our mind and come to understand it better. And then in that process to discriminate what are helpful mental states that when they come in our mind really, produce happiness in the long term, and what are destructive mental states that produce misery in the long term. And then the next thing, after we're able to discriminate these, is, well, how do I cultivate the ones that are conducive to happiness? How do I counteract the ones that are conducive to misery? Okay? So this is the kind of inner work that we're going to be doing on the retreat. So the structure of the retreat has to do with the Tara sadhana, okay, which is training us in positive attitudes and teaching us how to think properly. But in the process of doing that, all of our usual habitual ways of thinking and feeling just come in and interfere like mad. And so we get to see them very clearly. But it's very important to remember that they are not us. Okay? So maybe you should have a little sticker on your table that says, "This is not me." Okay? This is a thought passing through the mind. It's not me. So whether it's a good thought or a bad thought, it's just a thought. It's not who we are. Okay? So no reason to get puffed up about something and no reason to get down about something. You watch these things and then you learn the antidotes from the Lamrim, the stages of the path, on how to counteract the harmful mental factors, and then how you learn the various meditations so that you can increase the helpful and virtuous mental factors. Okay, so that's basically what we're going to be doing in the retreat. And Tara's there to help us. Okay. Now, for Tara to help us, it means we need to tune into Tara. If we're obsessing about ourselves all the time, it's going to be very difficult to pay attention to Tara. Okay? I usually find in my retreats that my number one topic of meditation is myself, and every once in a while I get bored with it and I think about the Buddha. Okay? It should be the opposite, but it works. We don't often think clearly, and so we spin around ourselves a lot. So it's just good. Watch it, observe it, remember it's not you. Try and come back to the practice like I was talking about yesterday. So you're not shoving anything down and refusing to look at it, but you're not indulging in it either. You're trying to guide and steer your mind in a helpful way. Okay? So why are we doing this whole practice? Is it because we have nothing else to do for the next 3 months? We could be out skiing or sledding, or going to work and making a ton of money. We could do all those other things. And we're giving up Christmas? My goodness. No Christmas carols, no Christmas tree, no Christmas stockings, no rose parade on New Year's, no football games on New Year's. Oh boy, what suffering. Okay? So, why are we giving these things up? When we could be out, enjoying ourselves and drinking and drugging and being with a bunch of people singing and dancing. And, oh, you're ready to run down the hill now. It sounds so good. Why are we doing retreat now? Because we've done all of that other stuff before, haven't we? And we've done it many, many times. And has it brought any kind of lasting happiness and satisfaction in our life? Okay? How many years old are you? How many Christmases and New Years have you had? every year you have a chance to do it bigger and better and be happier? Yeah? Does it work? It doesn't, does it? You know? Sometimes you have a good time, sometimes you don't. But anyway, it's over. And then we're back, still struggling for pleasure, struggling for happiness. So the reason we're doing retreat is because we see that looking on the outside for all these things is not a viable way to find peace and happiness. And in fact, by running around like that, we often have more unhappiness or inflict unhappiness on others. Okay? So we're doing the retreat because we want to be happy. Now, don't expect to be happy immediately right away. Yeah. Just create the causes of happiness and know that the happiness will come. Yeah. Because if we're sitting here waiting, you know, because we say, oh, I'm doing the retreat to be happy. Well, what kind of happiness are you going to get from doing retreat? So you think, well, I'll have a vision of Tara, and my kundalini will come up, you know, and I'll go out in outer space, bliss. Like this, you know? And so you come into the retreat with those kind of expectations. Yeah? And you're waiting for it to happen, and it doesn't happen. And what happens instead? You get mad, you get disappointed, you know? I gave good Donna to have this blissful, far-out experience, and all I see is anger. Okay? And it's your fault that I'm angry because the food's like this and the facilities are like this and blah, blah. Okay? So we have to just be content to create the causes of happiness. And as we create contentment in our mind, we'll realize that happiness is different than we thought it was. That we used to think happiness was this surge of far-out sizzle, you know, that just makes you incredibly zingy and giddy. And you find that that actually isn't a sustainable emotion that is comfortable for a long period of time. Yeah? And you begin to see that having a peaceful mind is much better. Yeah? Having contentment in the mind is much better. You may not have the big highs, but you don't have the big lows. And there's some sense of satisfaction and some sense of meaning and purpose in your life. Okay? And so we try and cultivate that kind of contentment, some sort of serenity, some sort of inner peace. Mm-hmm. But without grasping at it like we grasp at everything else. Mine. Okay? So instead of my whoop-de-doo, you know, experience from whatever we're used to getting experiences from, then, you know, wanting some other whoop-de-doo experience. You have to give that up, you know, this grasping at my, you know, I want, and really change the mind to, I'm creating the causes of happiness for the benefit of myself and others. Yeah? And if you have that kind of motivation, that can bring a certain kind of inner peace and inner satisfaction because you're doing something meaningful and useful with your life. Yeah?